Hey, it's Miss Shaz Jones, your host of Bible Hacks, and I wanted to give you a quick Bible hack. Might sound a bit strange at first, but stay with me. So, the Bible hack is get an enemy. I know there might be lots of other people telling you that that's not a good idea, that you should collect friends, but I'm telling you collect enemies. And the reason is that enemies create emotional engagement. Without an enemy, you can't have a hero. And without a hero, you can't have emotional engagement, or you won't have it at the highest level anyway. And so I wanted to show you a few places in the Bible where the Bible communicators use this tip. We don't have to look far, right from the beginning. It's talking about how God creates the heavens and the earth, and we're thinking that must be awesome. And then he goes, and darkness covered the face of the deep. And in case you were in any doubt, if darkness was something that we did not want, if darkness was an enemy, immediately we're told, and God said, let there be light. And there was light, and the light was good. And so we have this battle straight away within the first four verses. There's a battle. Talking of battles, probably the most famous battle in the Old Testament is when David meets Goliath. The whole nation, David's nation of Israel, is fighting the Philistines, Goliath's nation, and they're at this military strategic battlefield, and they've been there for weeks and nothing is happening. No one's winning. They're kind of this containment impasse. And David comes along and he fights the battle. So having an enemy is something that the Bible communicators are not afraid to do. When Jesus talks about really important topics like the church, he says, upon this rock I will build my church, and in the same sentence even, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So in case you thought the gates of hell might be something that is quite friendly towards the church, no, it's talking about who's going to prevail, who's going to win. Paul does this as well. Paul, the apostle, when he's talking about sin, he says, wherever sin abounds, grace does much more abound. And so he set up these two opposing concepts. And then to help us understand about the concept of grace, he sets up all these arguments that he thought of at the time, probably because he heard them from other people, because we still hear them today. But it's a great toolkit to help us defeat that enemy. So he says in Romans 6, I think it is, does that mean I should sin more so God's grace can abound more? No, God forbid. So he sets up these arguments and shuts them down. By the time we get to Revelation, the Bible communicators are talking only to overcomers. They're like, to him who overcomes, you'll get this. They overcame them by this. It's all about winning the battle, because that is how you engage people. So I want you to think about your business as an entrepreneur. What sort of enemies do you have? Now, I don't mean you have to name people. Paul wasn't naming people. Jesus wasn't naming people. God wasn't naming people in the beginning. So it could be a concept like darkness. It could be something like a spiritual force, like the gates of hell or fear. It could be something like with Paul, just a misunderstanding where they don't understand the truth of what you're bringing. So if they have a false belief and you can conquer that belief, bring them into truth, you will make them free, right? And they will really appreciate that. So think about your business. Is it maybe a sales objection? So people might think, oh, I can't afford that. You have to show them the value of why they should be able to afford it, why they can afford it. Maybe you have to show them the services that you provide, like financial services, a payment plan, or other ways that they can obtain the funds to do that. So help them not only to see the enemy, but to conquer the enemy. And you'll have much more engaged conversations with your customers, and your business will begin to grow as a result of that. So I hope this Bible Hacks helped you. If it did, please join the community where you'll meet other like-minded people who are using the Bible to boost their business God's way. You can go to facebook.com/BibleHax. We'd love to see you join us there. Thanks.